Welcome to a brand new episode of the Post Game. I'm your host, Davion. Today, I'm going to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks a little bit, man. I've watched their game against the Grizzlies last night. I remember the city, Memphis Grizzlies last night, and to me, this team just did not make logical sense. Doc Rivers' new head coach is in after Andre Griffin was fired about a month and a half ago. This team just does not look defensively sound. I was sitting there watching the game and I was just lost and confused as to why the Bucks trailed majority of the game. I think they took one lead in the fourth quarter, but they ended up losing that game by 3 points, which to me the Grizzlies I hate to say this, the Grizzlies they're an awful team. They're not a good basketball team. Their injuries are they're riddled with injuries. There's nothing there, in my opinion. And they just continuously have failed to get it done, especially ever since Doc has gotten there. So here's the thing. In January, the Bucks were 8-8. February, they have been they're 3-5. They fired Griffin after going 30-13, being number one in the East, having a pretty good team, but the players weren't happy with him. And that's one of the main reasons he was fired. It's because players weren't happy that they were struggling in different areas defensively, coaching wise. They just didn't like him as a coach. Now you bring in Doc Rivers, a very experienced coach. Only got it done once. He's had so many different opportunities and chances to get it done. He's had so many good teams, but he's only got it done once. So here's the thing: since Doc Rivers has been there, that team has gone 3-7 after losing again tonight to the Memphis Grizzlies, which is to me it doesn't make much sense. They are they're one of the worst defensive teams in the league. Um, Even looking at just watching the game, you can see that they're not doing the defensive things that like a championship team needs to do. They don't look like they have a championship aspect at all. And it just isn't making sense to me. Like, why does this team like what isn't working? They were talking to one of the ladies interviewing, and she said that the players love Doc Rivers. He's becoming a glue guy for the team. But it's like there's no result. There is no result when watching this team. There's no result when looking at their defensive front. Now, the only thing that's helping them is their offense. They're third. They're still sitting third in the East, which is pretty good. They don't look like a championship team. They're one of the most offensive one of the best offensive teams in the world, shooting or averaging the third most points a game or second in scoring per game. And that's what's keeping them afloat. That is what's keeping them relevant and so high in the East is that they're able to shoot the ball relatively at a high clip and Giannis is still one of the better players on the planet, so they still have that going for them. But I mean, it's if they continue down this road where there's no team cohesion, there's no defensive front. I mean, you bring in Pat Bev to help, I guess, to with that defense, but even he can't do it. I mean, he's missing shots. I know his scoring isn't his thing, but they're leaving so many points on the boards. There's no work ethic. There's no discipline. There's no drive. There's no anything. Like this team just looks like a shell of themselves, and it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to why this team will be so bad. It just isn't making much sense. So let me know how y'all feel about that. I've just been watching that game and I'm trying to figure out why this team is so bad. Why is this team is just missing that championship mentality. They're missing that championship mindset because it's not there. Will Doc be able to fix it before it's too late? I don't think so. I don't know. I think this team ships has sailed. I think Doc wasn't the right answer in going and getting. Um, so can he fix it? I don't think so. But also like, can Doc create um an efficient and effective offense for this team? That is the biggest question mark from in my opinion. And if that can happen, then they'll hopefully they'll be fine. But because right now it's just there's no team basketball. There's okay, we have Giannis, we have Dame, Bobby comes inconsistently. Like that's all we have. Or not we, because I'm not a Bucks fan at all, but that's all they have. And so, can they create a team cohesion? Can their defense step up? These are all the things that need to happen in order for this team to be relevant when it comes to the postseason. Because right now, I think they're gonna be a first round exit. I don't know. Have to wait and see. Can Doc fix this? I don't think so. But let me know in the comments. Let me know how you think this team's gonna do when it comes to the postseason. I've been your host, Davion. This has been the post game. Peace.